Here we go, folks. About that time. We're going to take it deep. Episode 2. You may hear in the background a little change of pace from me, right? A little change of pace, Rob.
Yeah.
We're going with Rod Stewart today. We're going with Do You Think I'm Sexy?
They're only human, Coach. Yeah, they're only human.
Open-ended question, as I like to say.
Yes.
It also ties into one of the topics I have, so your wheels could start spinning. God knows what that's going to be like. What a good song.
It's a great song, a classic. This is without a doubt. You just threw everybody. You threw me a curveball.
That's what I do.
Yes, you do.
That's what I do.
Keep us on our toes.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to pin me down?
Yeah.
Figure me out? Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, did it get much better around this time frame of?
No.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
How many substances were ingested that kept you up for days on end listening to this song? Right? And this song had to come out in what, 77?
Yeah, it's an oldie but a goodie.
I was 1.
Yeah, it was an oldie but goodie.
Unreal. Studio 54, the whole thing. Right?
Anything went.
This is just a prime example. You never know what to expect when you take it deep. You never know. You never know what you're going to get.
Pretty obvious.
Not to mention, not to go too deep, no pun intended, on the music thing of Rod Stewart, but what a just a very unique vocal pitch, tone.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy sounded like he swallowed a piece of sandpaper.
Yeah. Even
when he was young. A lot of times as you get older, right, you kind of get that raspiness, you kind of get that sandy effect. Guy had it from day one.
Right.
But it actually made him probably stand out, right? Like
different. Remember I told you, only 7 in the genre.
Yeah.
Only 7.
There's only 7, you're right.
Only 7 in the genre.
So is he one of them?
He's one of them.
So there you go.
Classify him now, though. But back then, he was a solo male pop.
Right now, I'd classify him as a catcher's mitt. He looks like a catcher's mitt to me. No offense, Rod. I mean, listen, you did very well for yourself. There's no question. No question. I don't doubt your talent or your resume.
It's getting a little rough.
But, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think is he adult contemporary now?
It would be, yeah. So he plays on the kind of that at-work mom stations.
Yeah. Dentist office?
45, 50-year-old women sitting there snapping their gums, right? Looking at their Facebook, trying to figure out what time is it 5 o'clock yet? I got to go. I got to pick up the kids.
God, what is
I got a thing.
What has it become?
Well, that's reality for a lot of people.
So, I mean, he's a dentist office guy now?
He's a dentist office guy.
The elevator on the way to the podiatrist?
He's not, he's at Mohegan Sun, but he's at the den. He's kind of...
No. He is in the arena.
You think so?
But here's the twist, Robbie. He's doing a lot of shows with an orchestra. So he's really tuning.
He got a different spin on it.
Well, here's the thing I always say. I think he's kind of evolving with his audience, right?
Yeah.
So he has the orchestra now.
Right.
So I remember seeing him a while back. I was young, and he would kick around soccer balls. That was his thing. Like random soccer balls would fly on stage, and he'd be booting them all over the crowd. And
he's another Brit. I forgot about it.
Yeah. And he could bring it. He was good. He really was. I really, really enjoyed it. I saw him twice.
What do you think? Listen, I don't want to get off the subject with Rod Stewart because Lord knows I've been waiting all day to talk about Rod Stewart.
Yeah, who isn't waiting all day to talk about Rod Stewart?
So what's all the controversy going on with The Who? Do you think all that was planted for their new album that is coming out? It had to be, right?
If you talk to anyone in show business, right?
Right. Which I am right now. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I mean, a major mogul, obviously.
Without a doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
I am. Am I the Chicago Bulls of podcasting? Is this a three-peat for me? The first version of our show I crushed. Yeah. The second version of the show I basically took over and put us in the stratosphere. Yeah. Now I have my own, and it's immensely popular. Right. Judging by the feedback from episode number 1. I'll get back to your question. Episode number 1, I got great positive feedback. Yeah. However, I got some pushback about my list. People were a little upset. Reggie Jackson said this. I agree with 100%. Fans don't boo nobodies. So guess what, pal?
Yeah.
We'll take it all. We love the negativity, the positivity, everything in between. Jealousy is a terrible, terrible thing, but sometimes I got to deal with it. It is what it is. Right. Now, getting back to me, anybody in show business who's done it for a career will tell you that 95% of the things that happen are never by accident, right?
Yeah.
So to me, I think it was all marketing. Don't you?
Oh, without a doubt. It was a little bit planned.
Yeah.
These guys.
Give us the details so everybody we'll catch everybody up to speed on the who. Go ahead.
Well, apparently, Roger Daltrey just went out and blasted that they don't like each other.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't like.
Is that a news flash though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I never really thought they did. I didn't know that they didn't.
Yeah.
But now it's a thing.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, there's a record coming out or an album coming out. So it's it's just the game that they play. But I don't know. I think that record and that album coming out would have been as popular regardless of whether they got into a little old buddies fight or not. Who's more popular than the other.
Maybe, but I'll say this. It's a lot easier to promote things. It's a lot easier to get advanced sales on things. It's a lot easier to sell tickets. The name's got to be fresh on your lips, in my mind.
Without a doubt.
So what else could they come out with, right? Let's make some controversy. Controversy is what people tune into. Controversy is what people want, right? I think they're doing that.
Yeah, but you know what? I think their egos are so big. They think they probably, in their sense, they don't think they need it, but maybe their PR company, maybe they think they need it.
Correct.
And they're going to create something. Maybe it started off as a little bit of a question that was answered, and then it got spun, and then they said, let's go with this. And
yes.
Let's keep on spinning it.
But let me ask you another.
I don't think they intentionally started off with, let's create a controversy.
No, but I think you can get down that winding road or that rabbit hole and say, wait, this is creating momentum, right?
Right. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is like the biggest joke of all time. A lot of people, to the average person, is these guys in bands. They all that's not always one happy household.
Right.
These guys tour. A lot of them travel separately. They don't spend time together. Everybody comes up basically the same way. I'll go with what I know. When you talk about the rock and roll genre and those bands, everybody comes up poor and hungry, and it's the 4 or 5 of you together on the average, 4 or 5 guys living in a studio this size. Although I like our digs, I'm not saying that, but you're living in a studio this size, trying to just survive, right? So it's kind of like a fraternity. And then as you get popular, the houses come, the cars come, everything else that comes with that life, right? And then most of these guys kind of break apart in terms of life takes them separate places. So they're not always. And then think about this. You and I both have happy marriages, right?
Yep.
It's a marriage being in a band. A successful long-term band is a long-term relationship, almost like a marriage. You're going to have your ups and downs. You're also a lot of times going to have your breaks. Now put that in the context of a creative situation and then talk about that the biggest root of all evil, money. Talk about being a business. And you just throw all this stuff into it becomes a powder keg. And I think a lot of bands, Motley Crue, for instance, they were going to be my little music piece today. I know we talk about them a lot lately. The tour's announced, the dates are announced. Those guys travel separate. They travel to each venue separately. They stay in different hotels. What are we talking about, right? That's where it kind of evolves for a lot of these bands. As you get older, you know it, I know it. Everybody changes a little bit. Everybody's interests start to change. Some guys get sober. Some guys don't want to be sober. Some guys are in between. Some guys want their wives with them. Some guys want all 6 girlfriends with them. It's how it works.
It's just, yes. And you tour for that long.
Correct.
And I mean, they don't live in the same cities.
Yep.
So after the show, boom. A lot of times they're not flying to the next show. They're going home for that.
Home.
Yeah. They've been there, done that. Show's over 11. I want to sleep in my own bed.
Yep.
If I live in LA, I'm sleeping on a plane. I'm sleeping in my bed. I'm getting up the next day and I'll make sound check.
And I'll see you.
Yeah.
The whole concept of what we think it's like.
Yeah.
In the first couple of years, that's what it's like.
I'm sure. But
then it's gone. Then it's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think in actuality, if you're going to be a U2, you're going to be a Who, you're going to be a band that's going through decades. I think it has to become that because you're going to burn out. Right. You can't burn that candle. I can't do what I used to do at 22.
You can't?
Well, in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways, no.
Right.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, don't take that for a sign of weakness.
You're not that flexible anymore.
Actually, I'm more flexible, believe it or not.
Oh,
I'll give you a quick, and here's why. I'll give you a quick shout out. Yeah. The New Haven Strength.
Yeah, that's
right.
Foggy.
The big 3, as I like to call them.
Yeah.
Dave Fogno, Coach Foggy, over here at UNH Strength. Yeah. Monica, Brendan, best in the business.
The whole crew.
They're my Dallas Cowboys. They're my Aikman, my Smith, My Emmitt Smith and my Michael Irvin. That's who they are.
They get you going.
Get me going.
Yeah.
We're doing good things in that weight room right now.
I can tell.
It's a testament to all of them.
Thanks for bringing me the bacon.
So now we're gonna get it. All the minutia we're done with. Let's get to the topics. We're gonna talk about what I brought you today.
We don't have that much time.
I got the timer on.
All
Don't
right,
worry. We're gonna get it in.
Okay.
So let's go first. Real quick, I'll do the music first. I mentioned Motley Crue's reunion tour. Dates are announced. Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett.
I saw Joan Jett was the opener.
Joan Jett is the first act to go on. Closest dates in proximity to us: Citi Field, where the Mets play, and Fenway. Those are the two closest to this area. Both in July. I'm sorry, both in August. End of August.
You going both?
Well, here's what I'm doing on air right now. I'm extending an invitation to Rob Thompson.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Bring the wife.
Yes.
I'll bring my whatever.
Yeah.
Parking lot. Well, I'll give you the whole heavy metal
I
experience.
want the whole experience.
You come, you get it.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there now. No pressure. You're not into it. That's fine.
Okay.
That's your problem.
I have to experience it with you.
I think we do it.
Yeah.
I think we do it. Why not? Why wouldn't we? I'm going to be there. So regardless, I think we do it.
You're speaking my wife's language with these three.
Oh, then perfect. We got to go then.
She'll love it.
Hey, let's do this.
Let's
do this. Let's extend it to your buddies. I know some have some same musical taste.
Yep.
Let's either pick Fenway or let's pick City. The first round of pre-sale tickets went on sale yesterday. The next round goes on sale tomorrow, and then General Pop goes on sale a couple days after. The venues are so big, we'll get tickets. Not a problem.
We should have it taken deep. Take it deep.
We'll go live from the lot. You want to do that? Folks, you just heard it.
Yeah.
You just heard it. We're doing a Take It Deep episode.
Yeah.
End of August from the Motley Crue show featuring Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett. It's done. We don't say things we don't deliver. We'll go Citi Field. Citi Field. Flushing. Gorgeous Flushing, Queens, by the way. We'll go there. That parking lot's going to be good. I can promise you that. I'll drag people out of the crowd. We'll have guests. Round up any of your boys that want to go. We're in. It's happening, folks. You heard it here. Done. We're
Tommy's
going.
Making chicken cutlets.
We're done. It's on.
Yeah.
It's on. I'm really looking forward to it because, again, I'm past the whole, they duped us the last time around. I spent good money. I went to multiple shows on the final tour. I'm going again, guys. I'm going again. My wife will be wearing her pink skin-tight Motley Crue t-shirt. I promise. Yes, she has one. And it's on. It's on.
Beautiful.
Anybody else out there, feel free. You want to join us, drop us a line. Tell us you'll be there.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of this, I'll put you on. Yeah. I'll put you on the show. You want to get on early? Grease. You got to grease me. You got to figure it out. We'll get you on however we can do it. I do accept bribes. I do accept food. I do accept money. Anything else you could think of. Now, that was the quick music. Quick for me today. We got a couple things we have to do now. Okay, a couple things. Now, you know this phenomenon, right, of National Whatever Day. Every day is a national day.
I just hope they keep coming because every time it happens, I benefit.
Correct.
I do benefit from it.
Thanks to me.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I don't know the origin of this. I don't know how this all started. Yeah. I don't know anything. What I do know is I finally got online and I got the list of the national days. I did this yesterday. And do you know what yesterday was?
There was an actual day for yesterday.
There's one today, too.
It was Monday. Yesterday was Monday.
No, it was National Pastry Day. Oh. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
It's fantastic.
National Pastry Day.
Every day.
I mean, at what point do we have National Cardiac Arrest Day?
That's tomorrow.
Right? So in honor, I did bring you 2 gourmet donuts.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, maple bacon is one of them.
Fantastic.
And as well as chocolate coconut. Yeah. These are both for you. I'm in shred season right now. Right. I'm in shred season. We're being strict. Yeah. I know. See, this is how sick of a person I am. I do it during the holidays. Yeah. What's wrong with me? Yeah. Don't answer. There's a lot. Yeah. So anyway,
Rod Stewart.
We opened the show with "Do you think I'm sexy?" by Rod Stewart.
Exactly.
So you got your 2 donuts. Yeah. Give me a full report next time. I guarantee you they're going to be fantastic. They're gourmet. Do you know what today is? Today is also a national day.
It can't be. There's no way.
No, it is. Believe me, and I know this to be true. Oh, listen. You're pumping up the crew already. You wish it was August 23rd already. You wish it was already.
They're coming.
I can't be held responsible for what happens that night, by the way. It's going to be chaos. Chaos. It's going to be good. Today is National Dewey Decimal System Day.
Fantastic.
True story, folks.
That's because we've always needed it.
I got to get on the board of this thing and make come on. Dewey Decimal System Day? What does that mean? We should all use it?
It's National Podcast Day to us.
I mean, I give that 0.25 of who gives a bleep.
Right.
National Dewey Decimal System Day. So we know from now on, we will have some idea every time we come on of what national day it is.
Fantastic.
Something will happen. We'll see. Could be good or bad.
Yeah, fantastic.
So now, what we're going to do to end the show, folks, we're going to get through the list, my list from last episode of the top 5 spinoffs, my top 5 spinoffs we have left. But before we do that, I am debuting a new segment that I will now do every podcast. I thought long and hard about this, and you'll see why.
Okay.
I got a segment that I'm going to do every podcast called WTF. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what that stands for. If you don't, what the rest is up to your imagination. Because there's probably roughly, I don't know, 100+ times a day where I say that to myself. So I'm going to pick topics, okay, that will have anybody saying WTF. Okay? Is that tech speak, by the way? Is that what the kids call it? Tech speak?
According to Missy Elliott, it's where they from.
Let me tell you something about Missy Elliott.
WTF? Wait, where are they from?
You cannot go wrong with Missy Misdemeanor Elliott.
No.
I'm telling you now. Pioneer.
I agree.
You look right now. Who do you look at in terms of the female hip hop artists? You look at Nicki Minaj, right? You look at Cardi B.
Yeah.
Who do you think influenced all of them?
Way before them.
And then at Remy Ma, all of them. And she took it to another level artistically, right? Then she all of a sudden got it tight. She got in shape.
Yeah.
She was on the Peloton bike.
Yeah.
Or something. We're gonna get to that, by the way. She is one of the best of all time.
She is.
No question. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know.
This is WTF. This is your theme.
I can't be happier that Missy Misdemeanor Elliott is now part of this podcast on the reg, as the kids say.
That's
right?
On the reg.
Okay. So, for my inaugural WTF, I got 2 topics. Okay? I am hearing that there are people trying to get the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer annual cartoon claymation TV show. I'm sure you're familiar with it, right? The Heat Miser, the one they play every year around this time. They're trying to get that abolished because the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story is centered around the bullying of Rudolph.
It's ridiculous.
So there's a movement to get rid of this because of a bullied claymation reindeer. What on earth is coming down the pipe next? We're going to get rid of Rudolph because it has a bullying overtone? Give me your thoughts, please. Please. Someone make sense of this.
Someone needs to go to jail.
Prison. Not jail.
Someone knows
prison.
To go to prison for that whole movement. Just
it's real.
No. You know, an airplane where the lady on the plane just goes nuts and the nun is the first one. Right?
And they smack her repeatedly.
That's what we need. We need an airplane smacking sentence.
I mean, what are we doing? Yeah. What is going on? I don't know. What happens next? Cancel everything?
Yeah.
Cancel everything. Right?
That's it.
You can find something in anything, the way I look at it, right? But I guess this was my first question. This is where my mind went. So what kid or kids or child is going to say, hey, I watched that Rudolph show last night. That kid with the big nose in my class, my 4th grade class, right. I'm just going to get with my boys, Donna, Blitzen, whoever else. Right. We're going to gang up on him because that's what they did to Rudolph.
Right.
Does that happen? No, I'm asking. Does that happen?
No, not even close to it.
I mean,
what were you thinking about when you're watching the show? I'm thinking,
I cannot wait to get Christmas presents.
That's
what I was thinking.
I'm thinking, do you really think at one point reindeer actually flew?
I was past that. Well,
do you think there's a possibility that at some point, they were flying around?
Yeah, that comes into your mind.
You just never know.
I can't say I wasn't naive. I also thought Hulk Hogan really said his prayers, ate his vitamins, and did all that stuff every day, right?
He did.
Yeah, he ate vitamins, all right. But, so again, where are we going, folks? Where are we going?
It's just too much.
At what point have we just taken joy out of the world? Like, do we want to take that out?
Why is it news that we're actually saying the national anthem in school again?
Right. It's news.
It's news.
I know.
How is that not, we're getting to that point where we're getting so old and bitter about things that nothing makes sense anymore. Just logic of just offending. I don't know. I don't want to go down that road because that's not.
It's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole.
What this is about. But
don't try to take over my podcast.
I'm not. Let me stop back.
No, because I'll get going with you. Enough.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I know.
So now.
So what do we got?
I'm going to go to
time. What time?
No, we're not. I got the timer on. Right. I got this. Lockdown, by the way. Let's go to my second topic on WTF.
Yeah.
I spoke of the Peloton bike, and our theme song today, our opener, was "Do You Think I'm Sexy?"
Yeah.
Have you seen the lashback of the holiday Peloton commercial where the husband, as a Christmas gift,
right?
Can we talk about these commercials, by the way, for 2 seconds?
You're right.
How great are these commercials? They live in a house that looks like it's somewhere in one of the best neighborhoods in Connecticut or somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
he brings home the gift.
It looks like he's up in Billions.
And,
he's in the show Billions.
And here's the other ones that always get me: the car commercials, where they're like, how do I wrap this Jaguar? Right. And then they just get a big bow, and it's in the driveway. Yeah. Like, come on, people!
None of this is real.
That never happens.
Yeah, first of all, he gets a bike. First of all, if anybody, even if your wife wasn't in shape, if you bought any type of device to suggest that they should be using it, that's trouble right there.
On a personal level.
That's
right.
Trouble.
Between you and your significant other.
That's trouble.
So that's not how this was approached.
I know.
Right?
It wasn't.
The protest is under the idea that the husband is saying, my wife has to be in shape. My wife has to look good. I'm going to somehow, with this $3,000 bike, and it doesn't stop there. You pay monthly, right, for the programs.
Right.
And the suggestion here is I'm going to force you to be fit and in shape and look physically attractive. That's what we're going with?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, okay?
Yeah.
It's Father's Day. It's Christmas. It's your birthday.
Yeah.
Your wife goes out. She buys you a Weber grill.
Yes. I'm offended.
You're offended?
I'm offended.
Why?
I'm not offended. I'm just saying. I'm going along with what you're saying.
No, I want to know your honest feeling.
Yeah, I'm fired up.
Do you think she's saying,
right,
well, you need to go out and cook now every night? I need you grilling meats and giving us high cholesterol on the norm
every night
because I bought you a grill.
Squirrels, raccoons. I'm putting everything on that grill.
Okay, so let's dive a little deeper.
Yeah.
Now, let's just say that you haven't had any conversation with your significant other about working out, about anything.
Right.
You went out and you purchased this as a gift and said, hey, maybe this is something, first of all, guys, let's be honest. It's a high-end piece of machinery, very impressive machine. I've seen them. You get these personalized workouts, you get all these things. You don't have to go anywhere. You set it up in your house, which the commercial showed.
Yep.
So the idea that it's just possibly a good idea as a gift is out, right? We're out because we're offended.
Right.
Okay, we're offended.
Right.
To me, I don't see anything at all in terms of offending someone, in terms of body shaming someone. No, to me, it was, and this is something that never gets talked about. What about being health conscious? What if you want your wife around for a while? What if, now I'll talk to my wife. I haven't talked about this. I'll talk to other women. Is that offensive to get a Peloton bike as a gift? I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of women that want one, right?
I saw this I don't even know if I talked about it last week on the show, but I talked to somebody recently about it. I saw this greatest tweet from a female that said, forget the Me Too movement.
I saw this.
Right?
Yep.
And her position on it was, go to a workplace.
Yep.
Do you know how many women had bullied this? She was talking about herself. She goes, you know how many women bullied me at work over the years?
100%.
99.9% more than men.
100%.
99.9% of the men I had nasty emails and looks and conversations and being defensive and inappropriate behavior were from the females that I worked with.
Yeah. So
these are the same women that are talking about this stupid TV commercial about how dare this man buy this woman a $3,000 bike in a 30,000 square foot multi-million-dollar home. Boy, is she must be going through hell.
And then they show her working out every day, and they make it sound like he's setting the alarm and going, "Yo, get out of bed, it's time to go.
Let's
shoot
go.
the glutes.
Let's go."
What are we talking about?
Did you see Ryan Reynolds? Did you see the TV commercial?
Yes, I did.
Aviation.
Yeah,
It's fantastic. Yeah. Oh boy.
But Robbie, where are we going?
Yeah.
Where are we going with all this?
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question. I mentioned the car commercials, right?
Yeah.
So the wife gets me the Lexus that's wrapped in a big bow.
Yeah.
And I see that one. The wife gets it for the husband, right?
Right.
So hold on a minute. What does that mean? She wants me to drive around everywhere?
Yeah.
Forget that noise.
Yeah.
What?
She wants to go pick up some more gym.
Yeah, so now I got to go out every night and buy groceries, and now I have to go out every night and drive you around?
This is perfect. Our boy Jay got his wife one, and she loves it.
One of our fans has purchased
Jay.
one for his wife,
Yes.
and she loved it.
Yes.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I know.
And listen,
Yeah.
folks,
Yeah.
most of us,
Yeah.
and listen, this is not the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Most of us could use the exercise.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Relax.
Health.
Right.
Health. Everything.
Right. As I
Right?
stare at my 2 designer donuts.
Yeah, you want to eat donuts? Get a
Yeah.
Peloton.
Right.
That's how it works. Hamster on a wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't know. This stuff just blows my mind. The more I see it, the more I hear about it.
Yeah.
So we have now completed the first segment of WTF.
Yes.
I got to say, my 2 topics were fantastic. My opinion. Mine's the only one that matters right now. And now we're going to get into number 5 through number 1. Continue the top 10 from last episode of the best TV spinoffs.
All right.
My disclaimer, one more time.
Yeah.
My best TV spinoffs. I got some tweets. I got some texts. I got people reaching out. How did you not include so-and-so? How did you not include this show? I'll tell you how I didn't, because it's my list.
All right. So that's it.
However,
that's it for WTF.
I want the feedback, though. WTF will be back next episode. And believe me, folks, it's only get better from here, because our world is completely tilted right now. And there'll be topics galore, especially with the holidays coming up. Believe me when I tell you. Moving on.
All right.
As we go to the TV spinoff, my top 5 spinoffs. My top 5. I'll give you a quick rundown of number 10 through number 6, and then we'll start at number 5.
Okay.
My number 10 from last episode, Better Call Saul, the spinoff of Breaking Bad.
Yep.
About Saul, the lawyer, Jimmy McGill, right? Shady lawyer. Number 9 was the spinoff from Cheers, Frasier.
Yep.
We had a little discussion about that one. My number 8 was every time I say Cosby now, I just giggle. I don't know if that's good or bad. God, I mean, imagine where that whole thing's gone. The Jello pudding pop guy, the guy who did Fat Albert and the Gang, look what he turned into. The guy who was hypocritical towards everyone about being foul-mouthed and all that stuff. Hey, Bill, remember when you got on Eddie Murphy's case? Remember that one? When you said he cursed too much? Who would you rather be right now, Eddie Murphy or Bill Cosby? Just checking. I'm just checking. Different World. Different World was the spinoff. Denise Huxtable went away to college.
Yeah.
Great show.
Yeah.
Number 7 spawned the iconic character of Urkel. Was Different World.
Yeah.
And if you remember, Different World spun off of Perfect Strangers, the show you and I love.
Yeah.
We might be the only 2 people in America. Maybe there's 3. Mrs. Harriet Winslow was the elevator operator on the show. And number 6 was the spinoff of Maude with Jimmy Walker and the iconic phrase "dynamite," which was Good Times.
So this is the next 5 through 1.
We're going 5 through 1.
All right.
And what a show this was, by the way. What a show this was.
This might have to be here. Yeah, this is great theme music.
We're going to start at number 5. Richie Cunningham from a show called Happy Days. You all may have heard of it.
Yeah.
Had a dream in one of his shows. Maybe actually multiple episodes, actually. Where all of a sudden this Martian appeared in his dream, which spawned a spinoff show called Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy was was the best.
With the late, obviously, unfortunately, Robin Williams. It was a show that, to me, I remember being young, obviously, when I watched it, and I didn't know what to make of it. Like, I didn't know if it was supposed to be real or not. He was a Martian. It really showed, to me, Robin Williams as the comic genius. Talk about a guy that never turned it off, by the way, either. Like, he was always in character. Always in character. But left an imprint with me. I always watched it. I don't know if you were a fan of it.
Huge.
And really, I mean, that kickstarted Robin Williams, right? No doubt about it. I was just going to say, the iconic phrase.
Yep.
Spawned a toy line, merch line.
Yep.
It almost, I mean, did that become bigger than Happy Days in a way?
It was up there.
Right?
Yeah.
Did he have the most successful career from that whole group of guys?
Without a doubt.
No question, right?
In the sitcom world?
Yeah.
Yeah, because back then you're a TV person.
You didn't cross over.
You didn't cross over.
And he did, right?
Yeah.
Like, he ended up moving on to a movie superstar.
Right. That's right.
And kind of bounced back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And at the end was back on TV.
Yeah.
And then obviously, unfortunately, it did not end, you know, well.
Sad.
My number four, 2 female lead characters set in, I believe, Milwaukee.
That's right.
These 2 women, these 2 ladies, I think we're going to hear the song. These 2 ladies were friends of one Arthur Fonzarelli, also from Happy Days. So think about this. Happy Days is just spawning sitcom spinoffs. Good ones. Laverne and Shirley, right? Little did we know, Penny Marshall was going to turn out to be a very influential Hollywood presence. Director, producer.
Well, her brother, Gary Marshall.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Talk about the good bloodline. So, pals, they were both pals on the show of Henry Winkler, who played Arthur Fonzarelli.
Yeah.
And from Laverne and Shirley, you got the Lenny and Squiggy characters, which were fantastic. Those 2,
they're best.
I mean, I guess you can call them friends of Laverne and Shirley. And, you know, how about the 2 women? They live together.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
What's the connotations? Like, what's going on there?
Well, you know, Laverne drank milk and Coke.
Yes. Milk mixed in with the Coke, with the soda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about an old school thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley was always on, if I remember correctly, right after Happy Days.
Tuesdays at 8:30.
Was it after Happy Days? Right?
Tuesdays at 8 was Happy Days.
So it was run right after.
Yeah, the big ragu.
The big ragu. Yep.
Yeah.
The theme song, everything.
I hope we love that one. Yeah.
So that was 4. If you get into my top 3 now, you're digging right into the heart. Yeah. You're digging right into the heart. It's like a batting order, right? Take it deep, all those connotations. So number 3 for me, okay, is a spinoff of the show Different Strokes, which had Gary Coleman, Todd Bridges. The father, I believe, was Conrad Bain. That was his name, the actor.
Yeah.
And you had a housekeeper named Miss Garrett. I don't know if you remember Miss Garrett, the housekeeper from Different Strokes. She goes from the Drummonds housekeeper to running an all-girl boarding school in upstate New York.
That's right.
Which spawns the show Facts of Life.
Facts of Life was great. Valerie Bertinelli was in that.
And then there was Kim Fields. Played, her name was Tootie.
Yep.
Right? At the very end of the show, I'm talking probably the last season, 2 seasons. Do you know what iconic superstar joined the cast? Male.
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
That's right.
Was a full-time cast member for at least the very last season, maybe the last 2. George Clooney, folks. This show, I don't know why, I just loved it. I don't know why. There was Joe Polnicek, who was like the tomboyish, you know, she drove like a motorcycle, right?
Yeah,
there was Blair, who was the prissy.
Right.
There was Natalie, who, I mean, if you define Natalie's character, it was kind of the
everyday girl.
Right?
Yeah.
That little bit of weight issue.
Yeah.
You know, that also spawned content.
Right.
You know, they all dealt with boarding school girl, high school problems.
Yeah.
Miss Garrett was like the sheep herder,
Yeah.
right? She was like Bo Peep
Mhm.
to all these girls, and there was something about that show. It just drew you in
Yeah, it was great.
for 100%. You had a good dynamic of Joe, the tomboyish one,
Yep.
always in conflict with
She was
Blair.
like Kelly Leak's brother from the Bad News Bears.
Yeah, right.
She had the feather hair.
She did have a great 80s haircut.
She did.
She is a very attractive woman.
She was.
She wasn't, but even off that show,
Yeah.
if you look like they turned her into that tomboyish image. So I mean, shout out to her.
Yeah.
She definitely was not as advertised.
No.
Joe Polachek. We go to number 2 now.
Now it's getting good.
Now number 2. Number 2. These characters spawned off a show called the Tracey Ullman Show.
Oh man.
Their first appearance.
So good.
Their first appearance on the Tracey Ullman Show was the 1989 Christmas special. The 1989 Christmas special gave them their own show. So they did little shorts on the Tracey Ullman Show, these cartoon characters. Tracey Ullman was a comedian at the time,
Yes.
a TV personality.
Oh, she was incredible.
Yes. So 1989, the very first episode of The Simpsons, which was a spinoff from Tracey Ullman, 1989 Christmas special was the very first episode. That show is still going, folks. Unbelievable.
Still going. How many years later?
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, right? Still going. So that show, and if you can get somehow YouTube, whatever, you see the raw sketches of them in those shorts from Tracey Ullman.
Yeah.
And it was like they were like amoebas. And then what it evolved into was
it turned into The Simpsons.
Yes. They were little shorts. It was Bart Simpson, the mother, the father, all the characters to a certain extent.
I had no idea that's where it started.
And there was little shorts on her show, and that evolved. Sam Simon comes on the scene and turns that into billions of dollars. Let's just call it what it is. That's what it was.
Unbelievable. Ending from Chris Friend said is ending after 30 years.
30 years.
Everything
The Simpsons.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's got to be the longest running.
I mean, you're defining people's childhood through The Simpsons. You're defining people's lives.
And the fact that Bugs Bunny didn't last
Correct.
more than, right? That wasn't around for that long. Maybe 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Legendary shows.
Yeah. And how many shows, like, let's just talk about it, Family Guy, all these other shows, where did they get their inspiration?
Yeah. It's all right there.
They were the Mickey
Looney
Mantle.
Tunes.
They're the
Looney
Mickey
Tunes.
Mantle of the animated, let's dance the line between appropriate and inappropriate, child/adult animated series, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
And
now, let's unveil number 1. Number 1 comes from a show. It spun off a show that I loved, which was All in the Family, which was Archie Bunker, Edith, Meathead, the son-in-law, who turned out to be Rob Reiner, who thought that was coming.
Exactly.
Sally Field, who sponsors kids in Africa for a cup of coffee a day, all that stuff. Do you remember who the Bunker's neighbors were?
The Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons, folks.
Absolutely.
They spun off a show from All in the Family, you may have heard of it, called The Jeffersons. That's my number 1 spinoff.
Wow.
The Jeffersons. Moving on up, as they say.
Huge.
The Jeffersons had that great mix of it was basically George Jefferson playing the role of, everyone's out to get me.
Right.
The wife always straightening them out. Their maid or housekeeper, who was fantastic, Florence, fantastic. Do you know who else? A very famous musician's mother was a cast member of that show.
Yeah, I do. It is Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz's mother
That's right.
played the Jeffersons' neighbor in their apartment building, married to a white guy.
That's right.
So they really tackled a lot of those issues, and it drummed up all those issues. What a fantastic show. Not to mention, what a great song.
Yeah. Fantastic.
This show coupled with Alice. I remember it being on back-to-back with Mel's Diner. I liked all that. But this is the number 1 spinoff, my opinion, as always. If you think about it, this show this wasn't organically grown. And it was that good. They were just the neighbors of Archie Bunker.
What a great tune.
And to me, I think actually the theme song, I think, drew the popularity of the show and drove it, I think. Because everyone recognized it by the song, right? To me. So folks, I don't know what to tell you except that we just banged out another great list. Apparently, that's what I do. That's what I do. I just you can't beat this. You can't beat this. And here's the sick part or the sad part: you can't make the show today. You can't even the subject matter, the content would never fly. But it's fantastic. Great way to cap it off. Again, I'm patting myself on the back. I do it from time to time. The list was fantastic. I'm looking at it right now. I don't see anything wrong. I hope somebody does send them. I want to know. But I think we got a little bit of everything on this one.
This is a great show.
You got a little bit of everything.
That was episode number 2, the Take It Deep podcast.
I mean, we're like explorers at this point. We're just striking gold.
Yeah.
We're digging and striking gold. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Episode 3. One can only imagine what's coming next.
Episode 3 coming next.
And I'm going to tell you something else. As we get closer to Christmas, do I have things? Do I have things to talk about? I'll tell you one thing we can talk about. We might be bringing our own crew to Motley Crue now. City Field. Everybody listening. Shout out John Mays, new assistant AD here at UNH. Huge fan. Huge. Was waiting for that second half of this list. Chris Friend, loyal listener. Anybody else? Anybody is invited to this concert. Feel free to comp my tickets for me. Pay them. And, as the social coordinator and host of the evening, it might be the right thing to do. I'm just saying. We're there. We're there. I want to go strong. I want to be there with an army. I want to do a live show. I'm going to drag in the creatures that inhabit this parking lot, and it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. I cannot wait now. Now I can't wait. We have so much time to prep. Try to get there, folks. August 23rd, City Field, home of the Mets. This will be the best night ever in that stadium. I'll tell you why. Mets never going to win any big games ever again until they sell that team, do whatever. So you might as well enjoy this night because this will be the only iconic night they have at City Field for a long time. We'll see you there. I know I'll be there. Till next time, I'm putting the shovel away, but don't worry. Episode 3, we're going to dig even deeper. Take care.